Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 599 of the DrunkNerds podcast. I'm host, as always. No, stumbled over that one. I'm host, as always, Tyler. And join me, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Not gonna lie, man. The end of this week didn't really feel all that great, but at the same point, there was one thing that I got in the mail that did bring up my spirits, dude.
Or did you
And
buy?
that's by
Oh,
getting my medal
you got your
for
medal?
Extra Life.
Oh, I'm jelly.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't got mine yet.
I just got it in the mail today.
Hmm.
I got off of work, opened the mailbox, and my freaking medal finally came in the mail. For those of you listening in or watching on YouTube or wherever you enjoy our content, this medal is usually given out when you raise over $500 for your hospital, your kid's hospital of choice. For mine, it was Seattle Children's Hospital. But man, I'll tell you what, man, it's like this definitely livened my spirits quite a bit because it's a swift reminder that any type of gaming stuff can actually be used to help benefit like a good cause. So, going through Extra Life all these years and stuff and help raising money for sick kids and stuff at Seattle Children's Hospital and stuff like that. This just shows me that, hey, there definitely is quite a bit of positive besides just helping sick kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as far as gaming stuff goes and stuff, I did have a chance to play a couple different types of games.
Cool. Cool. Cool.
But other than that, man, how have you been doing?
I'm all right. Clanging and banging as always. A little jelly now. I guess I haven't checked the mail today, so maybe I actually got mine in the mail at the.
Most likely you did, dude.
Yeah. Well, my mail still goes to my parents' house because I don't. I live in an apartment. I don't trust people. So, uh, but yeah, I don't. Yeah, so I'll have to call my parents and make sure I didn't get it. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing all right. Like I said, clanging and banging as always. I've been playing a decent amount of games this week as well. Powering through, killing bugs, liberating bugs for democracy, still in Helldivers. Um, I played a bunch one night on Tuesday night for like 6 hours
Hmm.
straight by accident,
Yeah.
and like my thumb was hurting. And then I woke up Wednesday and it was really bugging me. And then like Friday it was like turning green. I actually
Green.
yeah I had an infection in my thumb. Um,
Oh, shit.
I think I used some like this like I got some of this like Epsom salt you put in like some hot water and just
Yeah.
stick your thumb in there for like I do like
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
times a day and some Neosporin. And I think I got it. It's like I think I got like an ingrown nail or something. I'd never had that before. Just really started hurting like hell. But I mean like but hey if I don't play Helldivers too, I'm a coward, so I gotta kill those bugs. If I'm not there, I mean that's one less soldier to go out there and kill those bugs and liberate get some of that liberty as they say. But no, other than that, I'm doing all right. Like I said, Clang and Bang is always just yeah, have a nice little week there. It's been nice having like a solid work life balance the last couple weeks. And I'm like, oh my god, I've had like so much free time, like a lot more free time at night to actually play some games and stuff like that, and just counting down the days, Gable. Counting down the days. Final Phase 7 Rebirth.
Oh, yeah. You got another week here.
This is the last podcast that will be in the 500s. It'll be the last podcast that we'll do before I play Final Phase 7 Rebirth. So
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty exciting. I just can't wait. I started listening to one review for it, and I'm just like, I don't even want to know anymore. I don't want to hear anything about it. All I know
Dude,
is it's huge. That's all I know.
dude, like that last trailer that was at that whole Sony state of play that they
Yeah,
did, man. They spoiled too much inside of that trailer
yeah, didn't
for
need it.
people, so it's like I wouldn't even bother. I don't even care about reading a lot of the damn reviews of that damn game. I know it's going to be a great game to play.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm super pumped. Just oh man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Speaking of great though, if you guys want to hear more from us, keep hearing more from us, be up to date on what we're doing. Please like, follow, subscribe, check us out. We're on YouTube, any podcast service. Just look for us, Drunk Nerds, Drunk Dash Nerds. You'll find us. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. Go to all those places. 5-star reviews, leave comments, share with your friends, hit the thumbs up button. We're really pushing the YouTube channel. We're putting out a lot more stuff over there. I put up shorts
Mm.
every single day for us. You can check out. We have live reactions on here. Did 3 live reactions on Wednesday for Borderlands trailer for the Nintendo Direct and Shadow of the Erdtree, the Elden Ring trailer.
Mm.
So we put up a lot of content on there. So If you guys want to keep up to date, check us out and follow us on Facebook, Twitter. I always post whenever we post anything on there, and then also check us out on YouTube and tell your friends. More you guys thumbs up, comments, 5-star reviews, telling your friends. All that stuff helps us out. We're two guys that have been doing this for nearly 11 years now. We have full-time jobs. We do this for fun. So we,
Yeah,
we
we
don't
do.
we don't make money on this. We don't get codes. All this we pay to do this podcast essentially. So a little bit of support goes a long way. So we appreciate if you do that for us. But Gables, it's been a pretty
Hmm.
busy week, and it seemed like everything had to happen on Wednesday. Um, so let's just jump into it here, Gables. We'll start off here. Maybe kind of go in order. We had the Nintendo Partner Direct on Wednesday morning, about 25 minutes before we actually jump into like everything that happened there. Overall thoughts on the actual direct itself?
It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I definitely came in with lower expectations because partner directs, they generally are traditionally as like say, memorable as opposed to some of the mainline directs that Nintendo puts out for their first party content. So I came in with low expectations and then I left with like, hey, that was actually above average and I thought it was going to be, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, there were plenty of decent games that were announced and even some like Nintendo Switch Online stuff that popped itself up.
yeah.
But
And the ultimate troll job we found out afterwards.
oh, absolutely. And to get into that a little bit is like near the end of that direct, I was I was happy. I was excited because they revealed some rareware content coming onto the Switch Online servers through Blast Corps, through Killer Instinct, for like Pro, like RCM, something like that. But after that direct ended, people started watching the Japanese direct, and at the Switch Online, Mother 3 was the announcement that was coming on to the Switch Online for Japan. And honestly, for those of us in the United States, yeah, we're pretty much like for yeah, for any type of Mother fan living here in the US and stuff, I realize that we do have access to the ROM of Mother 3 and that we can download the English patch
Yeah,
that was subsequently made by people from like Starman.net or something like
yeah. And they
that.
offer to
Those
give Nintendo for free, and they won't take it.
exactly. And the main reason why is because of the content, the subject matter inside of Mother
Well,
3
I would
as
honestly
well.
at this point I would dispute that because they're willing to put it out in Japan. So it's like they obviously don't care that much. So I feel like they're
Exactly.
fine. And they put it like Earthbound Beginnings here, like during the Wii. Honestly, what we need to happen is we need to have the Switch 2 just needs to be the Wii U 2.
Oh
We need them
God.
like to go in the hole again, and then they'll finally like they'll go back to doing like you go back to the Wii U era. Like it's funny when like when console makers are down because they're just so much nicer to the consumers. So it's like
Yep.
we never would have got Earthbound Beginning if the Wii U was good. like
Yeah, you make a great point of that because they had to go and shell in the well. It's like, okay, what's something we haven't tried yet? Oh, let's put out the predecessor to the original Earthbound and stuff like that for Super
yeah,
Nintendo. Let's do it this way, Earthbound Beginnings. But yeah, you know what? I wasn't too happy with that, obviously, because it's like you tease your fans of Earthbound and stuff for long enough with this damn game. The game has been out since like what, 2007? I think
way before
2005.
that I think. Um, Let me look it
I
up.
want to say like 2005 or 2006 for Mother 3.
Oh, you're right. April 2006. Oh,
Yeah, April
okay.
2006.
Wasn't that a
So
Game Boy Advance game?
it was a Game Boy
The
Advance
DS
game,
has
but
been
they
out for
never brought
years at that
States.
point.
Yes.
That's what the
It's been out for years, dude. It's been out for years, and it's still relatively depressing that Nintendo's not once actually gone through and released an English version on their system. I mean, at this point, it's either going to be a remake or it's going to be like a port of the original Game Boy Advance. And I'm thinking it's possibly going to be a port sooner or later, but
yeah.
that's besides the point. Barring that type of troll job that they had for the Switch Online, what was present inside this partner direct I thought was pretty cool. We had a couple of games that kind of caught my attention. Obviously, Ender Magnolias, that was one because that's a sequel to Ender Lilies. Ender Lilies was a pretty darn good like Souls-like type of game that came out a couple of years ago.
Mm,
Had a great art style. You usually, I mean, you the main concept of this game is you go and defeat enemies, and like you can recruit their spirits or something like that to fight alongside you and stuff. And the whole concept of it, I think, is pretty cool. But the game did a lot better than what people were anticipating, and so I'm kind of interested in seeing how the sequel is going to continue that trend and onwards. See how well this game's going to be.
Yeah, I looked up the Metacritic score is like an 83 on the first one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
83 on the first one. But other than that, though, I mean, the stealth drop for Penny's Big Breakaway, I thought it was kind of surprising
yeah,
because I've been looking forward to playing this game because it's more reminiscent, I felt, of like some of the older like 3D platformer games. This it kind of really reminds me some of like a Sega Saturn sort of like platformer in some aspects because it looks like something that Sega would go forth and make and put out as a platformer, not akin to Knights, but like akin to like oh god, I'm trying to think of like what good 3D platformer that Sonic has actually. I mean, not Sonic, but Sega has put out.
yeah.
But
What good game have they put out besides Binary Domain and Skies of Arcadia? I can't think of any.
oh lord. But anyways, I really was happy with Penny's Big Breakaway. That stealth drop. On top of that, Unicorn Overlord looks pretty damn good
Demos supposed to be
from what
great. I
I've
heard.
seen from Vanillaware.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, there was other stuff that was inside this trailer too. What's inside
yeah,
this direct too?
yeah. We can break it down here.
Let's just go ahead and just break it down.
Yeah. So we got Grounded is coming to Switch. Started off
Hmm.
right away with that. That is coming on April 16th. Kind of a big surprise there. You can obviously tell they are lowering down the graphics for this one um, as well. And they also kind of learned later on that. Actually, we'll say that for the end. But so start off with that. It's coming April 16th. The game they also announced, I think, is at over 30 million players, which is pretty
Wow.
impressive for that game. It's been out. I mean, it's been out for a while. I know it's on Game Pass, but I don't know. It's kind of like a small, like Obsidian game. I'm surprised it kind of took off like that. Inter Magnolia, Bloom of the Mist. That's the game, the Inter Lily sequel you're talking about. That was coming in the summer. Um, Next up here we had a Ranger, a role. It's a role puzzling adventure that is also coming this summer. It's kind of a cool little game where like you're like on a platform and like the world moves with you as you move and you have to like make it
Mm-hmm.
through like the levels. Looks like a cool game. Looks like a game that like I would enjoy and then like an hour in get pissed off and just never play again. So, but I think I mean it looks like a great puzzler. It's just I'll get pissed off real fast and not want to play it. I don't know. What did you think of that one, Gables?
I really don't remember too much of it,
Okay.
honestly.
All right. Well, I'll run through some of these Gables, and if there's something you want to talk about, just stop me and we can talk
Yeah.
here. Unicorn Overlord, as you talked about, that's
Mm-hmm.
coming out March 8th. We already had the date for that one, but did get a demo, and I heard like people saying back and forth that the demo does carry over, but I heard other people say it doesn't. So I'm not 100% sure if that is the case.
Hmm.
Next up here, we had a Monster Hunter Stories, which is a 3DS game that came out back in 2017. Uh, it's also coming to PS4 and Steam as well. I believe Unicorn Overlord is also coming to PC. So, um,
Yeah, I was actually fairly happy with Monster Hunter Stories actually coming to Nintendo Switch. That was one of those games on 3DS. It was the tail end of the 3DS's life cycle, and I never got into that game. And I kind of ignored the sequel because I kind of wanted to play the first before I actually get into the second one.
yeah,
So,
this is
yeah,
this is more of like an actual like turn-based battle JRPG game. So,
yeah.
um, and I guess there's gonna be additional content that was only available in Japan. They announced there's like they have voiceovers, which the first game didn't have. So
Oh,
yeah, pretty cool in this. I
true.
mean, makes sense. Like Monster Hunter is, I mean, outside of like uh, Monster Hunter World, which is like the best-selling Capcom game ever. Um,
Yep.
Monster Hunter is always predominantly it sold super well on the Switch, mostly because of like Japan. It's really popular over there. So yeah, makes sense to do that. And like, I'm sure people will be more happy to buy the game again. Also, I'm sure there's a lot of new fans that probably got in after World that will buy this game as well. Next up, Gables, if you wanted a extremely disappointing Wii game remastered for the Switch and everything else, Disney Epic Mickey Rebrush coming out this year. It's enhanced graphics. They said there's new skills for Mario and other improvements.
Mario.
Did I say Mario? Why did I say Mario? Oh, Mickey.
Mickey.
I'm looking at Mickey and I put Mario. We're talking about Nintendo here. Um, anyways, um, yeah. So I never played this game. I just remember like the buzz around it because Warren Spector is making a Mickey game for the Wii. Like it's gonna be great, and they're using the Wii. This is like like early days of the Wii where people were excited to use the Wii, and I just remember this is like maybe one like I heard some, like people's like most disappointing game of like at that in that time frame of just like man this game was like came out and it was like at best a 7, and then the sequel came out and it was horrible.
Yeah, that's the thing that's really interesting about this. I mean, it's surprising that Disney went back and let someone go through and revive
Embracer.
this game. And Embracer, yeah,
Yeah.
Embracer wouldn't revive this whole franchise and stuff with a remake of the original Epic Mickey. The only thing that I really remember from it, it was hyped to death with Warren Spector behind the helm and stuff, who was responsible for making other classic games and stuff before that. Oh, not games, maybe just content in general.
Mm.
But yeah, the update still don't look too bad and stuff. But I didn't really expect it to be more than maybe like a 7.5 or like an 8 or something, maybe at most. But it didn't really impress me all that much. I mean, the touch of paint was all right. I mean, I remember the original game. You had to use the paintbrush and everything else with the Wiimote and stuff, and the whole motion stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. This is also coming to other consoles as well, I believe. So, I mean, so it's not gonna be it's not gonna be they're based on like the Joy Cons and shit. So,
and the only other
um,
thing I remember about like the Epic Mickey franchise is because they wanted to get a character that CBS owned at the time, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and
mm.
that was the whole infamous one where was it ABC or something traded Al Michaels or something
Yeah,
like
it was
that for
a
Oswald.
so Al Michaels wanted to go call football with John Madden, so they traded his
Mm.
contract for for Oswald. So which was like Mickey was Mickey before Mickey basically. It was Walt Disney's original
Yep.
drawing. So yeah, which is all time funny story there. uh,
I know, right? And that game ended up becoming like a huge disappointment, the sequel.
yeah, yeah, and now it's uh, public domain, so anybody can make this game now.
That's true.
I hope someone like random makes an Epic Mickey 3 now. Um, moving on here. Shin Megami Tensei 5. This leaked. Vengeance coming out June 21st. June 21st, pretty busy day. That is like it's basically like the Persona 5 Royale version of Shin Megami Tensei 5. From what I understand, from like that's the Wii U game, wasn't it? Or is this the early Switch game?
Shin Megami Tensei 5 was a early Switch game.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the Wii U one that had the Fire Emblem people in it?
Oh my gosh. That is Fire Emblem Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Tokyo. Okay, I don't know why I mixed those two games up. So, yeah, this is gonna. It's Shin Megami Tensei 5. This is the one that people got mad because someone said it's in the review said it's Persona without the heart, isn't it? But then also everybody agreed that it's actually true. It's Persona without the heart.
Well, I'm not too sure about that, but at the same time, though, it's like it is basically sort of like a director's cut sort of version, but like a little bit more than that because it's like you still have like the first parts of it, like the main game of like Shin Megami Tensei 5, but there are different choices that are presented now in this game to where it'll drastically change the mid and also the end game of the game
Mhm.
itself. So it's just another option, another like playthrough, like a different version. It's more akin to when the 3DS had Shin Megami Tensei 4, and then later on had SMT4 like Apocalypse, which that was kind of a little bit different. It was a different perspective from like another character of that whole entire game and stuff. So this is something that Atlas has done before.
Yeah,
Much referring to the 3DS games and stuff they had for SMT, but they left me with an impression that this is like a brand new game almost that they're putting out,
yeah. Well, it's probably because it's been so long since that came out that I hope people don't realize they've already bought this game before. So, or they don't like, oh wait, this is already out. I'll just go buy
and the
it
only
for $20.
not only that though, but the difference is they're bringing it on to everything else other than just
Oh,
not
okay,
just the Switch. So they're being on the PS5 series systems, Steam, and stuff. So
okay.
this is pretty much like a simultaneous release of that with Switch.
Okay. Oh, that's weird. I didn't realize. I guess I didn't realize that. Next up, Gables. Maybe one of my favorite announcements from this whole thing. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, baby, coming March 14th. Let's go. 64 player online. This is gonna be
Oh
the
my
running
god.
theme. There was like 4 games that came out of this. I'm super excited to play. but I'm gonna play none of them on my Switch. So I'm like, I'm just gonna play these on other places where it's gonna run better and look better. So I love these games back in the day. Like uh, Star Wars Battlefront was like the original games that I played online. I remember having like like we had an Xbox. My dad bought an Xbox instead of a PlayStation because the graphics were better.
Mhm.
But he didn't realize the games were better on PS2. So we had an Xbox. So I had like cool. Like we're gonna play Crazy Taxi and Star Wars Battlefront. Which hey, I play Star Wars Battlefront. Anyways, um, yeah, I played so much just back on online back in the day. I actually had like the remember my dad buying like a 3 month thing of Xbox Live and it came with the headset and like
Mhm.
talking to people while playing this game. And I was actually like really good at the online back in that point. So it's like one of the few games of my life where it's actually good and like playing online. Uh, and it's coming out. I think it's 35, but if you buy it, if you pre-order it, it's like I think it's like 10% off, so it's like 31.50 or something. But
Mhm.
March 14th, I'm excited for this one. I don't what sucks is like all these games that I'm excited to play that came out of this thing are all coming out around literally another big game I was already excited about playing. So I'm like, I got like a big game is coming out around this small indie game, or like this is just an HD, excuse me, remaster. And what's gonna suck is like I don't think this game's gonna have long legs. I don't know how big the legs are even gonna be on this thing. And by the time I get around to it and play it, or I'm gonna play it for like a few days, and then Rise of Ronin comes out a week later, and then I'm like, when I go back, I'm like, cool, no one's playing this thing anymore. So, or it's gonna be the only people playing are gonna be the people that are like fucking awesome at it. So I don't know. I have a lot of nostalgia for this thing. I don't know if it's gonna hold up, but I don't. I want to check it out. What I don't know how you feeling about this one, Giles.
I don't have really as much nostalgia for the Battlefront games as some people do, but I do remember that I did enjoy playing some bit of Star Wars Battlefront, maybe a little bit of Battlefront 2 on PS2 when I rented it back in the day. But I never went online with the game. I definitely didn't have like a lot of ambition to just go forth and play them. But I did remember wanting to play them at one point.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if this were like Rogue Squadron, I mean that'd be
yeah,
something completely different for me.
yeah. Like people have the 64 nostalgia. I have that. That's my nostalgia. Is the first Battlefront. I didn't. I remember renting Battlefront 2, but Battlefront 1 was the one I played a ton of. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm excited to check it out. Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream coming in 2024. Gundam Breaker 4 is coming out sometime this year. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. It's coming out June 25th. 200 brand new. This is actually a brand new Super. I don't know. Super Monkey Ball. You could show me one from the GameCube. You could show me one coming out today, and I'm like, they all look the same to me. So apparently this is a brand new one. It's coming out 200 brand new courses, 16 player multiplayer. But I believe there is 4 player online. I think you can race.
Oh,
So um, that I believe that's also coming. Or no, this is Switch exclusive. I believe Banana Rumble is. Um,
oof.
I think I'm gonna double check that one. The next one though, Gables,
I
I
don't
know for
know.
a fact is a Switch exclusive. Easy for me to say. It is World of Goo. How excited are you for this one, buddy?
I'm actually pretty excited for that because it's a sequel to a great indie game from way back around 2007 on the WiiWare service. The thing about World of Goo is this was a fantastic physics-based puzzle game. I remember having a ton of fun with it because you had these little goo balls and stuff that you had to arrange and try to create these different types of like platforms or different types of bridges in order to try to like itch your way like across the stage in order to get to the end point, which sometimes would be like a drain or would be going down some sort of like hole or whatever the hell. But I remember having a lot of fun just trying to figure out some of these little tough mind bending puzzles that they would do. So I am excited for the sequel to it because it's like it is seems like it's going to be a little bit more than how it was originally, but it was actually a fairly nice thing to see something that nobody really has seen since like those initial times like on the WiiWare, especially on Steam. I mean, Steam has World of Goo that you can pretty much anybody can download, play, and stuff. But a full-on sequel, yeah, I'm ready to see what type of other stuff they add to it.
Yeah. I'm gonna correct myself here. It is a console exclusive. It's coming to Steam as well, but
Yeah.
the 4 player multiplayer is a Switch exclusive. And I did double check that the Monkey Ball game is exclusive to Switch. So
Hmm.
Yeah, good luck on that one. But I mean, I guess that's probably if it's gonna sell like gangbusters anywhere, it's gonna be Switch. So next up here, Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. That's coming October 10th. They said this thing is all games that are taking place in the first half of the year, and then this is October 10th, and then we have multiple
Yep.
games that say summer. So that I mean that could be June, I guess, but we'll see. Um, Next up, Gables. Ho Daddy, let's go. Another Crab's Treasure coming April 25th. Super excited for this. This is one of the other four that I was excited for. Uh, this is coming to Game Pass day one. And even if it wasn't, I'd just buy it on PlayStation or Xbox. But hey, if you got it, all you have is a Switch, this game looks fantastic. I am super pumped with it. It's Dark Souls, but you play as a crab, and you have to
Yep.
find things out. Like you find things in the sea that like you actually have, like you find like a coffee cup, and you actually have to use it as a shell. Uh, this game looks awesome. I don't know. I just love the style. I love like the story. It has some voice acting and stuff like that. The story actually seems kind of funny, and the characters seem pretty cool. Um,
Mm.
Definitely gonna be awesome. Like I said though, like the other games, this is coming out literally the day before Stellar Blade's coming out. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then it's 3 days after Tales of Kanzara, which is that Metroidvania that I'm super excited for. That was announced at Game Awards.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. This game looks great. Do you have any thoughts on this one, Gables?
Honestly, I do like the style of the game. I mean, I was excited to when this game was announced way back when,
Yeah.
but yeah, I really just want to play it because it seems like it's going to be a pretty fun, quirky looking Souls-like game.
Yeah, yeah. I like the Souls like battle system. Don't like the challenge. And this one, it's like it's Souls like, but it doesn't. I guess it's not super. You can yeah. There's difficult. Like difficulty levels apparently. So, um, and this next game up, Shadow dropped, and just kind of felt like it really got glossed over. It was Wednesday was a huge day, so it just kind of came
Hmm.
out, and it was like, oh, cool. This is like a big, huge game that indie game that I think a lot of people were looking forward to, and hey, it's out now, and usually that's a big deal, and it's just like no one's talking about it. Penny's Big Breakaway is out, came out immediately afterwards. This is the 3D platformer from the Sonic Mania team. Um, so a lot of people were buzzed about this one, kind of like, oh, like they're going for like their own, like, they're going from a Sonic game to like now they're going to a 3D platformer. I did buy this game. I played it for about an hour. I like the game so far, but I've been dealing with like bugs. So I'm just gonna, probably, I'm playing Helldivers 2. I got Final Fantasy. If I have some time to jump into this before shit gets crazy at the end of March, I'll jump back into it. Hopefully there's some patches, but I like what I played so far. I just got a little frustrating, and that's kind of the overall what I've been hearing as well. Is it's like, hey, it's a great game. It's just you got some bugs you need to fix on this one. So it's $30, and I don't know. Seemed like I was kind of like in the mood for like a fun, like, it's kind of a, I don't know. Like, as much as I love Helldiving and killing bugs, Gables, sometimes you break up the monotony a little bit, and I thought it'd be kind of a fun little side game to have, and yeah, I'm just got to come back to it. But what about you?
Yeah, it's kind of like the similar type of thing with me too. You know, like Penny's Big Breakaway, I do feel like from even watching little bits of the footage I have seen and stuff, it looks like a fun game. I'm definitely going to be waiting on it for right now because, well, there is a ton of games. Absolutely, there's a ton of games that I'm interested in wanting to try on top of trying to finish up a couple that I want to do. But at the same point, this is going to be a fun game to play. I want to say maybe in April.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's like I got like, man, like, even though this probably isn't gonna be a great year for first party games, from like the console makers, this has been a great year already. Like from third party, like there's been
Yeah,
like 6 or 7 like really good games that come out already this year.
absolutely. And
And
we're in February.
yeah, we're in February, and like the next few months are already pretty crazy. So yeah, I think this might still end up being a really good year. Maybe not like, I don't know if we could anything could follow last year, but I think in the end it's gonna come out a pretty great year. But next up here, Sekua. Anyways, they're getting a multiplayer mode expansion coming out. I don't think they had a date. I'm not seeing a date here, but it is paid DLC. You get a two-player battle mode with online multiplayer, some time attack, and attack modes coming. I don't know if that's your thing, Gables.
Oh, this is like that fruit game, like Sakua and stuff that I've heard about it, never played it. It's super
Yeah,
cheap on Switch and like I think other platforms as well. But I heard it's pretty fun.
yeah. I've heard that. I've seen it. I just don't really know much about it. But I've seen people talk about it. So another game though, people are pretty excited for here, Pepper Grinder. We got a date
Hmm.
for this one, March 28th. March is just getting crazier. Demo is out now. You can play. There's been a demo on Steam for a couple weeks now, but it is out on Switch as well. So that's coming to everything as well. Pretty much everything here is coming to everything except for a few. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. It looks really really cool. I don't know if it's gonna be my jam, but I'll probably at least check out that demo here. I might check it out tomorrow, because
Well,
looks
I'm
cool to try out.
from what I initially saw for Pepper Grinder, it instantly reminded me of one game that on the Game Boy Advance that launched close to the end of its life cycle, and that's Drill Dozer.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
Drill Dozer was one of those games to where you control a little machine, little drill and stuff, and you go through all the different platforms and doing this and doing that, like solving puzzles and that stuff. This is sort of the same thing I feel when I saw the footage for Pepper Grinder. I have yet to try the demo of it, but it looks super interesting to me.
hmm, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I'll probably check out that demo. Maybe I'll talk about it next week. Next up here, so we heard Game Freak was going to be at this event. It turned out they were, but unfortunately, it was for Pocket Card Jockey Right On. That's how it's the Switch now. It was. It's so I believe this was already on iOS and now it's on Switch. So that's a horse racing
Aw,
game where you play cards. I remember it came out on the 3DS. There was a 3DS original version
yes.
back then, and I thought it was bad. I did not like it at all. So they just apparently it must be doing well because they keep making more of them. So um,
Well, yeah, that was actually one of the last games I ended up buying on the 3DS before the shop went down because it
yeah.
was one of those ones where I've heard it's a like a fun little quirky
Hmm.
like card game stuff like that. But yeah, I'm fairly interested in seeing the decision to put Pocket Card Jockey, like the mobile phone game or something on the Switch itself. But yeah, it's a game by Game Freak. I'm kind of interested in seeing how well that's going to perform.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They keep making them, so they must be doing something. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. Next up here, Contra Operation Galaga. This is a reimagining of the original NES one. You can play six players, and it's coming out March 12th. There's a demo out now. I heard it's pretty good. People
Hmm.
are saying good things about it. It looks pretty good, like a decent quality remake of it. I heard it's $40 though, so I don't know if that might be a
Hmm.
turnoff for some people. Um, yeah, I heard it's pretty good. I think Way Forward made this game, if I'm not mistaken. So should be it's a pretty quality team there. So if that is the case, uh,
Ooh.
probably in good hands. So just that.
Oh, that's another demo I got to try out then because I really love the original Contra on NES.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So then here we got to the. It's kind of a weird thing. Where there's two more things, which is very weird. And then we got the Rare logo. I think people lost their fucking minds. And then like Blast Corps out now. And then also we got RC Pro Am, KI, Killer Instinct, Battletoads. What Battletoads? I'm trying to look at the picture here.
let's see. There's a couple
Battle
Battletoads games on the
Maniacs.
Super. Yeah, Battle Maniacs and
Yeah,
stuff. There's two Super Nintendo games that are Battletoads related. One's with the Double Dragons. The other one I think is
Double Dragon.
like
Yeah,
a
that's it.
standalone thing based upon the arcade game for Battletoads.
Wasn't there a TMNT one as well?
No, there was never a TMNT one with
Did I
Battletoads.
make that up? I just made up in my head.
I think you may have.
I remember playing the Double Dragon one. And then also Snake Rattle and Roll, all out now on Nintendo Switch
Oh
Online.
yeah.
So, man, what a cocktail! I remember a lot of people were excited about the option of maybe getting Rare Replay on the Switch. Maybe this is the closest we're gonna get to that happening, I guess.
This is most definitely the closest we're going to get to a rare replay on this system because what games that were announced on that Switch Online service for Rareware is pretty much like the main games that people have been asking for besides Banjo Tooie. You have like obviously Snake Rattle and Roll is kind of an underrated game for the NES. It's more like a platformer and stuff where you just control these snakes and stuff, like doing a bunch of little platformer shit and stuff, and like an isometric sort of like 3D part 2D sort of style. But Blast Corps is super fun. I've played that game on the 64, and it's still fun to this day. Just trying to just make things explode and stuff while you have that friggin' chick that tells you time to get moving before you start moving every mission. But obviously, Killer Instinct is the one for me that I really love from all these announcements because as soon as that music hits, I'm like, oh, it's Killer Instinct.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead.
before we go on though, I gotta share this one tiny little blurb, and I don't think I ever told you this though. So a while ago, I was playing Killer Instinct on my little TV that I have close to my bed here, this little CRT that I've had for a while now. And at that point, my bed, I still have my old bed, right? And they have these platforms, right? Those little like long, like plastic sort of like things you set the bed like on and stuff. Those little four cones. Well, while I was playing that game, I started like playing the arcade mode and stuff on like a harder difficulty, and I did like an ultra combo. I did like an ultra combo with Jago, and as soon as I hit that ultra combo, I the way I was positioned between my bed and my friggin' like a dresser and stuff, I moved back way too far, and all of a sudden, as soon as the ultra combo went, I literally just tipped over my freaking bed, and so it's like you can just see him. He's like, "Oh, Trud," like, "Oh." I thought I put it this way when I thought about it later after I was picking up my bed and resituating it on my damn platform, where it's like, God, that combo was so epic. My bed literally fell apart.
Yeah. Broke the bed. That's funny.
Oh my
That's good.
God. It
Um,
was
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no man. Now let's continue on.
All
I
right.
just wanted to share that blurb.
I did forget to mention that during this, they had a sizzle reel right before this, and Pentiment was in there.
Yes, it
That's
was.
another Obsidian game, so kind of crazy. It's like, yeah, it's kind of, I guess though that game's kind of hard to show off because I like everybody says that game is fantastic. It's actually reviewed really really well. The people that played it love it. It just, it's a text heavy game, so I can see how like maybe like showing like a whole minute on that, maybe it's tough. But we had maybe one of the most baffling one more things I've ever seen. We had the one more thing was Endless Ocean Luminous, coming May 2nd. This is I believe a remake of the Wii game. It will also have 30 players. You can play with 30 other people online, and you can swim through an ocean, Gables.
Dude, this should have been that they should have swapped with the Switch Online stuff as that one more thing because Endless Ocean ending on a chill game like that. I mean, I know what the game series is all about, really, because it's like I remember them releasing for the Wii. There was two of them, Endless Ocean and Endless Ocean Two. They were basically you playing as a scuba diver and stuff, like checking out the different species of fish and this and that. They actually did fairly good in terms of sales on the Wii. So I am happy that this series is coming back, but like on the Switch, is a revival of a classic Wii franchise that Nintendo has had for a while. But ending the direct like that though on like a chill fish game, I mean,
Yeah, yeah. The
that
original,
was really weird.
is this the original cozy game?
It could have been the original cozy game.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I just look at like another Crab's Treasure, which was the one more thing when they got it revealed a couple
Hmm.
years ago, and then like Penny's Big Breakaway being out today. Like I feel like you put those two at the end instead. Would have been a lot bigger, or even like I don't know, like World of Goo would have been bigger. Like you gave
Hmm.
Gundam Breaker 4 its own trailer, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream its own fucking trailer.
Hmm.
But then like I don't know, you put Pentiment and a Scissor Reel, and then you put Endless Ocean as the one more thing. I don't know, just a weird way to end it.
That
Um,
was weird.
yeah, so I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Like, yeah, sometimes like not all the times that one more thing doesn't hit for you personally, but it's like you can see why it's like the one more thing, and I'm just like, all right, okay, that's weird, but I don't know. I can't wait from it. Like, yeah, it's fine. Like I thought, I'd say for a partner direct, I thought it was really really good. Grading on a curve there. Uh, like
Mm.
like I was talking about last week when we were talking about like the rumors of this. I'm like, usually these come way we get these and it's just a bunch of like games that are already on other platforms that just now come to Switch. A
Right.
lot of shit here is stuff that's not out yet.
No.
Like there's like the four games I was talking about. I'm excited for like another Crab's Treasure, Painsbury Breakaway, um, Star Wars. And what was I already fought the fourth game, but all these games I'm excited for. But it's like cool. I'm gonna play these on other platforms. So like it really doesn't do a lot for me in the end. For like being excited for the Switch itself, but I don't know. I look for it's almost more closer to a Nindies direct than it was um, an
It
actual
really
like
was.
partner showcase. Like you take out like the Xbox stuff and Capcom, this is basically an Indies direct. So, but
Mm.
yeah, I thought it was pretty good overall. I can't wait pleasantly surprised, just kind of going in based off what my expectations were beforehand. But Gables, we're gonna stick with some quasi Nintendo news here for a second.
Okay.
Also announced we're getting a Pokemon Present on Tuesday. It's Pokemon Day. They said they're
Hmm.
gonna have very exciting, and they use that in quotations, uh, news for us. Now, obviously, that could mean a lot of things. Like Gables, you said, what does it very exciting mean to Pokemon? And my response was, well, it could be, hey, we made a Pikachu hat that you can only buy in Cincinnati, Ohio. We made 12 of them, so that's what's very exciting to them, because that sounds like something Nintendo would or Pokemon would do rather. Um, yeah, so being realistic here, last year's it feels like every other year this presents the Pokemon Day ones are pretty bad. Like last year's was atrocious. I think like
Hmm.
other than the DLC being announced, which we already knew was happening at the end, like it it was bad. It was like I think we finally got Pokemon Sleep was the thing, was finally there, and then like they announced like they're bringing back the old cards, but it's like $400 and they made like 13 of
Hmm.
them. So good
Hmm.
luck to you people out there that wanted those. Uh,
Shit. Yeah, that's
but
right.
kind of, I mean, obviously there's gonna be some weird shit there that's gonna happen. What would be funny, Gables? They finally announced Detective Pikachu, the remake they announced like 7 years ago. It's finally out now, but it's like, hey, remember last year we put up Detective Pikachu 2? Well, the first one's out now. That you have to play to make sense of the second game, so you can buy it now. Um,
Oh God.
but I don't know. I mean, a couple things we have them like they've been doing a lot with black and white stuff. They've been like teasing it on their Twitter. They've done like gifs of black and white. There's been like what the DLC for Scarlet and Violet is based in that generation, I believe. I believe on Pokemon Day the Eiffel Tower is gonna light up black and white for Pokemon Day. Um, so I feel like they're not very subtle when it comes to like doing like normally they kind of like telegraph a lot of this shit so we kind of know what's coming. So are you I feel like the most obvious thing is black and white remakes of some sort or some
Hmm.
people are saying I don't know if this is like speculation or are there rumors out there. Some people are talking about like maybe the Pokemon Legends in Gen 5 because black and white is Gen 5, right?
Black and white is Gen 5. That's
Yeah.
correct.
So some people are saying Pokemon Legends could be the Gen 5. Like they go they spend Gen 5 there. I don't know about that. I think that's more from my understanding that looks like more speculation than any rumors. I'm just gonna do this. The safe bet is we're gonna get some sort of remakes. Whether that's the dribbling basketball. What the fuck were those ones called? The dribbling basketball.
Dribbling basketball.
The drilling drill. What the fuck were those shitty remakes we got a couple years ago?
Oh, you mean like Diamond and Pearl, the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, the
Yeah,
ones
dribbling
by
basketball and Belichick something. Yeah,
yeah.
BDSM. That's what it was. Um, yeah.
uh,
Go ahead. What are you expecting from this?
okay. I'm expecting I'm actually expecting something a little bit like a calm, a little bit tame. I think it's not going to be as big and bombastic as some people may believe, but I also think that it was a horrible idea to go forth and tout that, oh, we got some exciting news for the world of Pokemon, because of course you're going to overhype your fans when you announce something that's really mundane or something, like say if it's a Let's Go Johto type of thing, like for Let's Go, or like
Oh
going
man,
with that shit.
that's all I
But
want.
here's the thing: Generation 5 wasn't the only thing they were teasing in terms of their old advertisement stuff. Generation 2 was also something they did in terms of not just advertising on their Twitter page and everything else through the timelines and stuff, through like moments in Gold and Silver, this and that. There's another rumor that's been going around, and that has been in regards to merging of two generations. Not like say not say like with like gold and silver or something like that, but I'm saying something incredibly different to where it could be, and get this right. There's a rumor going around that there's a Generation 5 style, like, say, Pokemon games that's going to be kind of like a time, has something to do with time between traveling between Generation 5 and Generation 2.
I hate all this.
I know. I know. It doesn't make any
I
sense.
just
But
want
what
Gen
I'm
2.
saying,
Just give me Gen 2.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But there are rumors that that could be potentially something that may happen. I mean, another Pokemon Legends, like say Pokemon Legends, like oh my God, like Johto edition or something. even though, even though like we have the Sinnoh ones, the ancient Sinnoh
Mm.
from like Pokemon Legends Arceus. So if it's like Pokemon Legends, like say Celebi or something like that, to where you have like a retro, not like an ancient like Johto or something like that, that would make more sense to me. Or it could be something completely different to where there could be two sets of remakes that are coming out in the span of a year with Generation 5 and Generation 2. I mean, it could be we're getting those black and white remakes or something by the main Pokemon team, and it could be Ilka or not Ilka, I
I think
think
it's
is
Ilka. Yeah.
the yeah,
Yeah.
Ilka that could be doing the black and white,
God,
not the black ones, but the gold and silver ones. I mean,
the most boring game ever made.
what I'm saying is for anybody looking forward to this Pokemon Direct, I would not get your hopes up for this because I feel like it's going to be something that is going to be overblown. But I do know that there's a couple things that probably will happen with this, and that's because of leaks of data miners and stuff, like data miners and stuff for Pokemon Unite and stuff. So I do know that
Yeah.
Pokemon like Miraidon will probably be more or less something they're going to be touching upon as a playable probably character or something inside that game, because the literal time frame of when that Pokemon's supposed to be announced is on Pokemon Day.
That happens every year. Like those games get data mined and people figure out, like if they're gonna
Yeah,
have some. There's those weird like the Pokemon Cafe game and they're like on the mobile games and shit. Like I'm sure there's gonna be probably some for that. There's gonna be some shit for the card game. They cover everything, which is fine. I think for most people though, we just care about the game side of things.
I think.
Pokemon Unite's a good game, so I'm not
Well,
ashamed of it.
yeah, yeah, of course. What I'm personally looking forward to is like I would personally would love to see like what Generation 5 remakes would look like whether or not they're going to be developed and like put out by the same Pokemon team or some radically different. But another thing that I thought about, but this is a rumor that could be happening to tie into a new Pokemon movie, is there's another legendary Pokemon inside of Scarlet and Violet that has not been discussed about, and this could lead to a potential DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And this is the story of Mintaro. I think I'm pronouncing the name right. Like this is another like a Japanese sort of like folklore, sort of like a story to where there was this wild man like in the woods or something that was raised by and like just grew up in the wild and stuff with like with different animals or something like that. But I know I'm kind of butchering a bits of the story and stuff, but there's like another folklore sort of like legends inside of Japanese culture about Mintaro, who is basically kind of like a seen and portrayals a couple different versions or something like that of him like being a sort of like a wild man in terms kind of like intimidating towards like other people and this and that and stuff, but he was more like kind of like pretty much friendly towards animals and this and that stuff. But the reason why I'm bringing up that this story was people going through and doing like bits of research in terms of like the different symbols and sort of the different Pokemon stuff. Then they're noticing that there's this little like yellow square or something like that where every individual DLC has its own color, and it's also the color of the like specific legendary Pokemon. So like for the teal mask and stuff with Ogerpon, there's a green one for freaking like Chiropicus. I think there's like a blue one, and then like for Momotaro, not Momotaro, but like the one that we got for the epilogue, there's like a purple one and stuff, and so there's this yellow one that's like left kind of unaccounted for legendary stuff. So my guess is we're probably going to be seeing something related to another DLC for Scarlet and Violet, even though we've had an epilogue already for
Hmm.
the expansion.
Hmm. Yeah, oh, yeah. Well, didn't they already? Yeah, they did. The epilogue's out, isn't it?
Yeah, the epilogue's already
Okay.
out,
Yeah.
Tyler. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is they're probably going to have another DLC for Scarlet and Violet.
God, I hope not. Just kill that game already. It's a piece of shit. Um, Gables, I was thinking about this the other day.
Yeah.
I would rather play through Suicide Squad again than fucking look at Scarlet and Violet. That's how much I hate Scarlet and Violet. I hate looking at it. Such a
Uh,
great game tied into a
well,
fucking turd.
looking at it is one thing. Actually playing it is another.
Yeah, well, I mean, then all the bugs and bullshit. I don't want to deal with that either. But yeah, I mean, I know some people are talking about Gen 10. I really think Gen 10 is gonna be pushed to 2026. One,
It
because
is.
obviously Scarlet and Violet, and then B, that is also the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. So doing the big Gen 10 game, you want to do something big for the 30th anniversary. I imagine that would be it. I know a lot of people are talking about just assuming that they're gonna finally put the Pokemon games on NSO. NSO has been out for like 6 years now, 7 years now, and they haven't fucking done it. So
They haven't done it, and on top of that, you got to believe that NSO is going to be transferable, hopefully, to like the next iteration of the Nintendo console.
yeah,
Because that's highly successful for what they're doing. But yeah, I would love that. I would absolutely love
yeah. I mean,
that.
it'd be awesome. Yeah, like they put like gold and silver and shit on. I'd love to play those games again, but I don't. I just don't have any faith in them. I think they're gonna try to find ways to charge us for them before they put them on there. So, um,
Yeah, most likely.
I don't know. I look at it like this. Like if I don't think they're going to maybe do 2 games in a year again. I can almost see them like because Pokemon Legends I think was far more successful than they thought it would be. I can almost see them like I don't know if they're going to necessarily announce them all like on Tuesday, but maybe they do like the Gen 5 remakes and then like it's a 2024 game. Then the 2025
Yeah.
game is the Let's Go or is the Johto game or the Legends game rather, and then maybe after that is um, Gen 10. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But they're always exciting because you never know if they're gonna be there. Just man, just hope
Well,
better than
let's look at
last
it
year.
this way, though. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is like the fourth best-selling Pokemon like generation and stuff like that, right
Uh,
behind
it's the
Gold and
second one.
Silver.
Yes, Sword and Silver is number one. Scarlet and Violet's number two. Yeah. Uh, so, or no, it's number three. The original Gen 1's still number one.
Well,
Uh,
I'm looking at this right now. It's like Red, Green, and Blue are like 31 million and stuff like that. Sword and Shield is next after with 25.
hmm.
Gold and Silver is like 23, and then Scarlet is like 20 million.
Oh, I thought it passed Gold and Silver. Okay, yeah. So number four. Yeah. So, um, yeah. So I mean, but then you look at like those Gen 4 remakes. I were just, I mean, they were just nothing, and they sold
Oh,
like 15 million or something. So
yeah, it's pretty close to it, like 14,920,000.
yeah, so I mean, maybe it'll sell less if people the second go around, but
But
people love Pokemon,
it,
so
but also it's also a pattern where every time a Pokemon like remake or something comes out and stuff, it doesn't perform as well as the original like
yeah,
releases and stuff.
yeah, just kind of a thing to tie over until the big hotness comes out. So, but
Exactly.
I do wonder what they're gonna do with because that is the only one to have a sequel. So I wonder how they tie in the sequels to
Yeah.
this. So because probably have to, but let's move on. Gables, I guess we'll know more in a couple days.
Yes.
But next up here, we'll make this the last news story. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. We got a trailer for that one. I did a live reaction. If you want to check it out, please like, follow, subscribe. It's coming out June 21st, which leaked the day before. It is $40. It is not standalone, so you do have to own the original game. There is a collector edition you can buy that has the statue of the final boss. I'm assuming. Some things we did learn though from Miyazaki is that they said that this game is about the same size, if not bigger, than Limgrave, which I believe is the like the first area you go to. So people are saying that's pretty massive. So
It is massive.
yeah. So uh, I don't know. I've seen some people kind of like bristle at the price tag of it, and I guess I get that, but I don't know. I look at it like if it's $40 and it comes out and it's like I mean they're 20 30 hours. I feel like that's pretty good. So and it's quality content, and yeah, I'd say that's fine.
What we're talking about is probably one of the biggest like actual expansions to like a game or
Yeah,
something like that in
it's gonna be
terms of content you're getting.
it's gonna be borderline a whole another game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what people have been talking about after the reveal of that latest trailer, where it's showcasing one of the main like probably one of the main antagonists of this whole expansion with Mesmer, the Merciless and stuff. This whole dude with like a freaking snakes and stuff like that that he's like like woven into is like a freaking like a cloak and shit, like all this other type of craziness that you can get into. They showcased a whole bunch of different like bosses you're going to be facing,
The one
including this
dude,
one sort of
go ahead.
like one sort of like dog like creature or something,
With the
right?
lion
With a
head.
Chinese like yeah,
Yeah,
I
that one
like
scared the
that.
shit out of me. The one like skeleton that was pulling the sword out of his skull was fucked up.
Dude, not just that. There was a moment to where you see like some sort of creature with this long ass neck and protruding like freaking like mouth or something like that, just literally just grabs someone,
Yeah,
and he literally has like all it is like he has a body, right? Like a slender body, but his neck is like extremely long
like an
and
eel.
it goes outwards and he's fucking eating somebody and stuff like that. This When I first played through Elden Ring, I told you that there were moments in that game where it feels like pure nightmare fuel, and that is like one of those moments, dude, to where they get like FromSoft did so well in terms of making some of these creatures so unnerving to play against and also like to encounter that I'm very much looking forward to when this game comes out on June 21st because it's like a $40 DLC. It has a whole bunch of different types of content and bosses to fight. This is going to be probably one of the expansions I'm looking forward to the most this year.
Yeah,
Because, dude, I spent an entire month playing through Elden Ring back when it first came out. Like almost 100 hours worth of content I got out of that damn thing. And I still didn't get all the bosses or did all the missions or do all that stuff. And I really much easily could have done. I actually thought about. I actually thought about after I finished it, I want to play through this game again.
yeah, yeah. Well, I heard a lot of people saying they're waiting on New Game Plus until the DLC was coming. So if you're gonna do
Dude,
New Game Plus, probably now's the time. So
oh my God. Yeah, that definitely would be a good idea.
yeah, um, yeah,
I forgot it
but
actually had New Game Plus.
yeah. So not I obviously I played like 5 hours back then. It's just FromSoft games are just not for me. So, but I'm excited. I think those games look great, and I'm excited for people that are excited. So, um, but let's move on here, Gables, to some other news this week. A couple of things here. We watched that Borderlands trailer, Gables. I did live react to that. I made you watch it before we did the show. If I had to
Yeah,
sit through it, you guys sit through it too.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
It is one of the first times I've ever watched a movie trailer to where I did not feel happy about it. I did not feel angry about it. I did not even feel mid about it. I felt nothing while watching this trailer. And that's even worse. When you have the expectations of, oh, hey, this is Borderlands. This is a franchise I've actually played a couple of games of. And all of a sudden, the first image I get when I look at the trailer is of Kevin Hart. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
As Roland,
as
the
Roland.
big muscular
Yeah,
dude.
and Kate Blanchett is Lilith. I'm like, oh, oh God. Yeah, I just felt nothing throughout that
Yeah.
whole experience. And even some moments in that trailer where it's supposed to be funny, where it's like when the end of it is where like Claptrap or something like that, played by Jack Black.
Just shitting bullets.
It's like literally shitting bullets, right? And it's supposed to be this comical moment and stuff, and they're all like just watching it, just watch Claptrap doing this stuff. And it's a funny scene, mind you, but I did not laugh at a single thing of it because I couldn't get over the fucking shock of this reveal.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it was like my best or worst live react ever done before because I was just like, I just got nothing at the end of it. Like I felt nothing. I just like, okay, cool. We're like obviously trying to just do the Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn um, style to this. That's what we're trying to do. Randy Pitchford, the head of Gearbox, is saying that well, James Gunn and Guardians of the Galaxy borrowed from us, so we're borrowing back. I'm like, I don't. I mean, they just made a comedy, so I'm
No,
gonna disagree on that one. That I don't know. Like
dude.
it just, yeah,
The only thing I credit Randy Pitcher for this movie is making it like how like successfully how it ended up putting me to sleep from watching the
yeah, and
almost putting me to sleep with the the launch
yeah.
of this trailer.
I mean, all it needs to do is be fun and have a few laugh out loud scenes, and it does its job. I don't know. If it comes out and I hear like it's hey it was a fun movie, like I'll probably check it out. I watched the Uncharted movie. So I watched a fucking shitty ass Resident Evil movie that came out a couple years ago.
Mm.
So honestly, if it's just better than those, it's a win. So that's not a very high bar. So
I was expecting like the original Borderlands, that type of a story, but
yeah,
instead we got this hodgepodge of shit.
yeah, and we didn't even get no rest for the Wicked in the trailer. So what the fuck?
No, that's
Uh,
a huge missed
yeah,
opportunity.
that's like yeah. Um, Next up here, Little Devil Inside. People don't remember that was a game that was announced
Yeah,
over 3 years ago. That game
yes, it
Gables
was.
is still alive. They just they put out a 6+ minute long trailer.
Okay.
Looks great. They're moving over to Unreal Engine 5. They did a not Patreon, Kickstarter update. They have been quiet for since they did a state of play in October 2021, a whole
Hmm.
state of play just for that game. And it's supposed to come out in 2022, and we've heard nothing since then till
Yep.
on Wednesday of all things, because everything had to fucking happen on Wednesday. I watched the trailer. The game looks great. Like, it's just, but it's kind of one of those things where like it's just every like 30 seconds something different is happening. It's like what the okay, what's happening? It's almost like Tears of the Kingdom. Like you watch that last trailer, it's like every 20 seconds I'm like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? What the, like it's just like that. But I'm like, this is like a small indie development team that just seems like they're doing too much. And I don't know if it's gonna work out. But they're looking for a publisher right now to help them get to the finish line. They moved to Unreal Engine 5. They talked about they had a lot of in-house issues and stuff like that. So it's a whole long story. I thought it was really nice because like you don't really hear a
Huh.
lot about shit. And this game has been, I mean, it's been around for like it's been going on for almost 10 years now at this point. It was kind of cool to have like
Wow.
an update on everything and like, hey, like this game's still going. We're still going. You know, we're just having an honest update about hey, like, and then being pretty honest about like some of the people that run in the studio, how you know they kind of fuck things up, and you know they apologize to people that kind of burn along the way. But I don't know, hopefully, I hope for them it gets to the finish line, and hope for them and also it's a really good game because I think the game looks great. I don't know if I'm going to game I'm going to be playing, but I hope you know for the people that obviously backed it on Kickstarter. I hope for those people this is like a passion project of theirs. I hope it comes out because it'd be really great. And you know it's kind of you know crazy when like these long development games actually kind of find their way out. So it just sounds like they need some help. So hopefully they can find the help.
Hmm.
So um, last but not least here, Gables, prominent leaker for Nintendo, said that things have shifted around, but the last uh, Nintendo Direct for the Switch is planned for April. They'll have a big one in June, but by then we should know about the Switch 2. So, and then the June one will be the Switch 2 event. So,
A predominant leaker. Which leaker is this? I wonder.
Centro Link, he's pretty big on the.
Central Link is generally
He's
big on Pokemon news.
yes, but but he has some Nintendo stuff here and there, which you know, and so he's a couple of other people have kind of said they've heard the same thing. Obviously, it's Central Link. He's never 100. He's not 100% right, but I feel like he's
No,
worthy enough to like he's often enough right that that's why I threw in other news this week instead of making it a big topic. I was like, hey,
right.
keep an eye on it, and you know, put this put this away, put it in the back of your brain, and you know, if he turns out he's right, we'll give him his due. And if not, we'll say hey, he's wrong. But also, you know, a lot of prominent leaker people that knew new information about Nintendo Direct were saying a Direct was supposed to happen a week ago, and then the Xbox shit happened, and it looks like that's pretty much what happened.
Dude,
Was the Xbox shit fucked everything up? So
dude. It all comes back to what I was saying like a while ago here, where it's like the only thing for sure about Nintendo is
nothing.
nothing is for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I honestly think they will like people will report things, and then purely out of spite they will rearrange their entire
Oh,
business around just to piss people
they
off.
actually, if you've listened to a bit of like Kit and Krista in terms of
Yes.
their podcast stuff, that's exactly the type of things they try to do because they understand that people go into these like Nintendo themselves, like inside of that company, know exactly to where they know that people are going through doing the leaks, doing this and doing that and stuff, and they're purposely rotating things around to make it so that oh wait a minute, so this person's full of shit, maybe this is going to go this way or this
Yeah.
way or this
Just to
way.
discredit leakers.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
known for doing this.
Yeah. I remember Kent and Krista where they had Jeff Grubb on their podcast and they said that yeah we've had several meetings just because of you. So so that's pretty funny. Uh, yeah. So which yeah.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be shocked if that's the case. So
Actually, I think it would be hysterical if that was the reason why Jeff Grubb actually, the probably Nintendo or somebody in Nintendo heard is like, oh, hey, hey, Jeff Grubb just announced that this Metro Prime remaster is going to be announced right here. Well, guess what? We're not going to be
yeah,
releasing this year.
hey, Jeff Grubb said that if Metroid Prime Remaster doesn't come out in 2022, he'll shave his head. All right, cool. We're bumping it to
Yeah.
February. So yeah, so I feel like you know, like obviously, like a lot when it comes to certain people, especially Nintendo, I trust them even if it doesn't happen exactly when they say it will. Especially when like they said it's supposed to be mid-February, and a lot of people thought it was gonna be the week before, and then it happened Tuesday. So it's like I don't know. I don't know when you see a lot of the people that are normally right that are right. I don't know. I feel like even if it doesn't happen exactly when, I feel like I still believe them overall. But let's move on to what we've been playing. Gables, do you want to go first? You want me to go first, buddy?
I'm gonna go first this time
Okay.
because there's only been two predominant things I've been playing this week. One is I decided to go through a complete playthrough for Pokemon Red, not Red, but Pokemon Blue and stuff in the 3DS after going through like the Crystal stuff. It wasn't that long of a playthrough. It wasn't nearly as long as I did the Crystal stuff. It was only like about 8.5 hours, so that kind of a stretch to like maybe like a couple days this past week. I decided to start with a Bulbasaur, raise it all the way to a Venusaur, and that was the only Pokemon that I wanted to use for battles. And long story short, the first couple of gyms were fairly easy. Brock, Misty, and also Surge. I leveled up my Venus. I had leveled up my freaking Pokemon so much. It was fully evolved by the time I hit the third gym. So I had Venusaur already past like level 32, 33 when I was facing off against Lieutenant Surge. Obviously swept his team with freaking Vine Whip and stuff, and I was about to learn Razor Leaf. For the move set for Venusaur, I was going to have a couple different grass moves, but keep Body Slam as a clutch in case I needed to go and hit for something physical damage wise. So the move set was I had Sleep Powder to try to cover in case I had Pokemon that were trying to outspeed me. So, case in point, Alakazam. That Pokemon is like one of the fastest Pokemon that's not like a legendary inside of Generation 1. So, going across, say, with Sabrina and stuff, I would go and hit Sleep Powder first thing. So that way I would put it to sleep. Then I would whittle it away with like Razor Leaf or Mega Drain. Because when I went through and got that TM stuff from Erica and stuff, that gym leader, I'd have that set to like sustain and this and that. So the only difficulties I think I've had throughout that entire playthrough was towards the end of it. Yeah, it was like towards the end of it, really. Yeah, it was with Blaine. Yeah, Blaine was one of the ones that was difficult because he had whole fire type Pokemon, and the highest level Pokemon he had at that point was like 47. I think I was like not even like 10 levels above when I faced off against Blaine. And on top of that, I really did the gym leader stuff out of order. So I went and did the first four gym leaders like in order and stuff. So Brock, Misty, Lieutenant Surge, and Erica. But I purposely went after what was it? I think I actually went after Blaine next. Yeah, I went after Blaine next, and then after I beat him, I went and beat Koga and Sabrina, and then I left and had like Giovanni and stuff as the last one. But yeah, those kind of difficulty stuff I came across is one running out of power points for my moves because I'd use I'd use like moves like Vine Whip or something where only like maybe at 10 hit points or something at most. Or Razor Leaf at like about 32, and I was literally going through trainer after trainer getting experience so it wouldn't be so bad towards the end game of it. I ended up entering the Pokemon League at level 72 with Venusaur. Venusaur was able to go through Lorelei consistently. I mean, got past some of her tough Pokemon like her Dugong and stuff she starts off with. That could be a pretty bulky thing and annoying with rest. Um, well, Slowbro can be annoying too with Amnesia, which in Generation 1, it just raises special. So both special offense and defense, as opposed to Generation 2, will just raises the special offense. What that means is if you have a Pokemon that has like special attacks and you try to attack that Slowbro with, if he uses one Amnesia, that damn thing's going to be hard to take down, dude. It's like a tank. But went through that. Lapras was fairly easily. So I would say like half the Elite Four was easy. Like Bruno was extremely easy. Taking out his Onyxes, taking out freaking Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan with Body Slam. I think Machamp was like a 3-hit KO because at this point I should have went with like a move like Double Edge over Body Slam because Body Slam's only 85. Double Edge is like 120 power, but you have like damage you suffer when you use the move. So it's like about a third or something of your health. So Elite Four member number 3, Agatha. She is also known for like speed runners and stuff as the Agatha Lottery. And the reason why is because she has Pokemon that could put yours to sleep like confuse your Pokemon. You can actually be both or some, with the whole Haunter, the two Gengars, the Arbok, the Golbat. Starts off with a Gengar, right? Like about level 56. Its main moves that it can use is like Nightshade, Hypnosis, Dream Eater, and I think Psychic. I was able to take out most of her team. The last Gengar was a pain in the ass because I had to put that thing to sleep and also try to whittle it away with like Razor Leaf, which it resists because it's part poison type. Because in Generation 1, you can't make a ghost Pokemon that's just a solid ghost Pokemon. It has to be with another type that's very susceptible to the psychic. But Lance was the real test, though. Having like a grass type Pokemon face off against a bunch of dragons, the first thing I'm facing is a Gyarados, water flying. It hits me with fucking like hyper beam first thing, right? And I'm like, oh crap, how's this gonna go with me? And so it hits me with like hyper beam. It literally gets to about near half my health, but it doesn't. It just inks out just a little bit. So I use like Razor Leaf twice. My Venusaur is so fast, it's literally critical hitting almost everything that it hits with freaking Razor Leaf. But was able to do that. Was able to use Body Slam to really take out the Dragonairs and stuff. Aerodactyl was a piece of cake, really. I mean, I think I two-hit KO this thing, like 2 hits and it was gone. Dragonite also used Hyper Beam, and I still tanked that son of a gun. And the thing about Generation 1, with Hyper Beam, if you KO a Pokemon with Hyper Beam, you could use that like Hyper Beam the very next turn without having to recharge. That didn't happen throughout this battle, but I'm just saying is that could have very well have if this Venusaur was not that like good. But yeah, beating Lance, then all of a sudden going to the champion. I did all of this, and I beat the game and beat the Elite Four champion in my first run through without having to continue, without having to do save spots or anything like that sort. Obviously, the champion's Pidgeot was a pain in the ass. That thing was like level 61. It knows Wing Attack. It knows Mirror Move. It almost Mirror Moved my fucking Sleep Powder so that it would put me to sleep. But it missed. It's like a 75% chance to hit that move, and the 25% it actually hit a miss. But I think I only came across 2 Generation 1 misses and like okay, Generation 1 missing of moves that are like 100%. I think I had like about a handful of it, like maybe 5 or 6 at most. But I kept on missing with Sleep Powder throughout some of the major important battles throughout this playthrough. But the last Pokemon I faced with a champion, though, in general, was Charizard, because he chose Charmander. I picked Bulbasaur and stuff. It was so nerve wracking because I put that Charizard to sleep. It literally like took me like about 3 hits to take this thing out with Body Slam, and it was over. I did it on my first try. I'm happy with that run. 8.5 hours. It's not as fast as the Blastoise one I did like at this point a few years ago. I beat that game within 4 hours with Blastoise. um, uh, but the other game I wanted to talk about is the expansion to Splatoon 3 Side Order. Side Order is a roguelike Splatoon style game. What's interesting about this is when you go into this like this order sort of world and stuff, this world is pretty much like created based upon like and this is going to go into a little bit of spoilers here from like one of the main like characters from Splatoon 2. I think her name is Marina and stuff. So you are playing as Agent 8 alongside like her co-host back then and stuff, Pearl, who's on like this little droid robot or something like that that follows you around. The main thing you got to do is you got to go through this sort of like a tower like obstacle course thing to where you choose a stage, right? It increases like different types of power-ups that you have for either yourself or for like a Pearl's robot or something like that. And you once you clear the stage, you get that power. And then you can go on to the next one, and then you go up this tower until finally at the 10th floor you face a boss. I've done this twice now, right? To where I go up to a boss and I beat the first boss pretty good. The second boss, oh god, I wiped on the second boss. But the time I got to like the 10th floor the third time, there's another boss entirely. So what I'm saying is these bosses and these levels, they randomize, kind of like how another roguelikes do for every time you do like say for Rogue Legacy, when you do a run and all of a sudden you die or something like that, and the castle's completely like just switched around, so you can't do memorization of, oh, this room was here, I'm gonna go here. It's like, wait a minute, it's totally different, that type of stuff. But what's also so interesting about it is they have these different type of palettes for like specific characters. Like there's one for like one of the characters from Splatoon 3. I think her name is Shiver. So it has these archery bow, like this setup of like special weapons and this and that. Or it could be like a setup for like Agent 6, I think from like the original Splatoon 3 or something like that, I want to say. I think I'm going to go with that. But with like this sort of like a super soaker style of like a gun you can use, or by default, you have the dual guns and stuff where you can dodge and do all that other stuff. That's like my preferred one to use because it has a dodge mechanic and it's actually rather good to have dual like Splatoon like pistols or something like that where you're like just covering a whole bunch of different fields and stuff and enemies and this and that. So for these different levels, they're separated into like two or three different types of options here. One has to involve moving a drone, where you have to move this like the satellite set of drone around the course until finally you get the endpoint. The second one is you have to move these big old like almost 8 ball looking things right around an obstacle course. So you have to cover it in ink in order to make it to move. And so when you give it to move, you have to move it to a specific spot on the obstacle course itself. They could be extremely easy or they could be like extremely hard. The one consistent thing I've noticed throughout this type of playthrough is it's the same like easy, normal, or like hard like type of levels for the specific mini games that you have to play in order to earn your powers for that run. The other one the other one, you have to defeat these specific type of like fish creatures. These like almost like piranhas or something that purposely try to avoid you, but they go around in a circle. So you have to try to time your attacks wisely and try to trick them into getting close to you so you can actually get a couple shots off and stuff in order to kill them and then go on to the next one and stuff until finally you clear the stage. I know there are a couple others that I'm forgetting, but for right now, I know for a fact that I've spent at least a couple hours this past week playing this. I want to say about 2 or 3 hours most. And it's a lot of fun, Tyler. I mean, it absolutely is a lot of fun. It's something radically different than what you're normally accustomed to doing with Splatoon. So instead of like doing like the crazy ass like puzzle courses or this or that, these are like just set mini games that you can go through and you can play and then you can repeat them, earn a whole bunch of currency in order to improve specific stats and stuff of your character, of your like robot, or like earning more money every time you go through these different courses and stuff. There are permanent stat upgrades for this. So you are getting stronger and you are getting like different things like unlocked. So on top of that, there are other things you can unlock too. Throughout specific levels, you earn these keys. And what these keys do, they'll unlock a specific lock to a locker, and that's how you can unlock like different types of like accessories for your character, or you're gonna be unlocking like different palettes for like other like sets of characters with these different weapons that you can use. But yeah, it's got a whole bunch of variety to it. And from what I've played, it's actually really fun. And I would encourage those that skipped out on like the expansion stuff for Splatoon 3, but really like Splatoon 3, give it a shot. This is something that is a little bit different, but at the same time, I think it's fresh enough to where you're going to enjoy this.
All right. Well, very cool. I'm excited for you. I just didn't vibe with the original Splatoon, so I don't know if I'm gonna jump into that one. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
It seems
I
seems,
get it.
seems like people are liking that one, so that's pretty cool. I already mentioned I played some Penny's Big Breakaway. I only played like an hour of that. So, but the other game I'm playing, talk about top of the show, Helldivers 2.
Mm.
Continue to take over my life. I just love this game. Like when I'm not liberating bugs for democracy, I just feel like my time is being wasted. Like I'm just at work thinking about the like usually work. I'm so focused on like what I'm doing, like I don't even like think about like I just want to go home and play this game or what go home and watch this movie or whatever. It's like I'm at work and I'm just like, man, I just want to go home and fucking play Hell. I just love this game is fantastic. I
Mm.
continue to be blown away by this. Like someone that grew up loving Starship Troopers and all that, it's like they just nailed what that game should be. Um, I just love I just love how like different it is from like it's not just like oh it's an extraction third person games of service game. It's like I just love like this game is difficult, but it's like it's fair.
Mm.
I feel like you go into a mission like when you want to reload, like when you you play a game like you have a gun that holds like 20 bullets and you shoot three
Yeah.
shots off. Like I have like OCD about like reloading that, and you just like all it does is take 3 bullets to like reload it. When you take the whole clip out, put a new one in, but you didn't lose the whole clip. This game, when you reload, you lose the whole clip. So if you have a half a clip left and you reload the other half of that clip gone, and
Oh
like it's
wow.
so you get so few resources when you land. You eventually you can unlock like boosters and stuff through like the battle pass stuff like that. Like um, people are saying it's pay to win. I don't. That's complete bullshit. I don't like the stuff you buy with real currency is just like outfits and shit. There's no like the battle pass, like the battle pass, the free one and the paid one are equally as good as what's in there. It's not like and the shit in there isn't like you get the superpower, you get this great armor, or you get like this great weapon. Like they're all pretty much base. Like I'll jump into like a game like I was playing games I mentioned Tuesday night with a couple of buddies and uh like one guy was 26, I was like level 10 and another buddy was like 6 and we were jumping in so I think there's 10 different difficulty levels and we were playing on
Hmm.
like 5 cuz like the higher level you play on we get way more resources, you get the medals which you use to unlock the stuff in the battle pass and you get way more experience which higher experience you get you can buy like different when your levels go up you can unlock like different things you can bring to the game. You get like different like napalm strikes or like I got like when you get to level 10, I think you get the guard dog, which is like the little drone that follows you around and shoots a laser. That thing is a game changer right there. But yeah, like there's no like real um, it's not like oh there's no skill tree. There's no like oh I get to level 12 so I can buy this better gun. Like you get better stuff, but like it's through natural progression of the game.
Okay,
And
good.
but like I say, like he's 26, I'm 10, and my buddy's 6, and it's not like he's just way better than us. Like he's skill wise, he's a better video game player than I am. He's played way more hours of this game, but it's like we're going in there and we're holding our own. Like I said,
Good.
I'm my one buddy's a quarter of the level he is. I'm less than halfway to what he is, and we're all holding our own. We're accomplishing missions. Like we're doing a good job. Like it's like we're not like I said like he's got better shit than us, but it's not like he has a better napalm strike shit like that. But so
Right. So it's not like say I'm sorry to
go
interrupt,
ahead. No, you're
Tyler,
fine.
but
Yeah.
it's not like to say like in other games, say like I'm gonna use Destiny 2 as an
And
example to
yeah,
where
that's exactly what I was going to
you
use
have
too.
one person that is like have a extremely high light level, and then all of a sudden you have a couple players who are like maybe like 100 or 200 like light things down or
Yeah.
something, and all of a sudden the one player with the most has a clear like advantage and stuff in terms of finishing this mission, whereas the ones that are a little bit struggling in terms of getting like things going, they're having a harder time because the enemies are tougher, everything else is gone, they're dying consistently and stuff because of how lopsided the difficulty is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it could get kind of crazy. Like I jumped in, like I remember like immediately just, like dropping. I've never played on like this high
Mm.
level difficulty before, and I jumped in, landed right next to a robot in like a fucking AT-AT from Star Wars, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I landed right next to it, and he's like, "Oh, you haven't seen those yet?" I'm like, I've not been here before." Like it's like jarring at first because I'm like you're seeing different types of enemies and stuff, and like the higher level the higher difficulty you go into like the missions get harder to complete, but that's it. It's not like it's impossible, and like it's not harder because you have less gear. It's just there's more enemies, there's stronger enemies, shit like that, and like yeah, it's just man, this game, like I said, you could jump in. Like I put my friend code on a. You have like this game has its own friends list. Put my friend code in like a Reddit page I'm on, and I got like 200 friends, and it's awesome. I want to hop as soon as I hop on. People join my game. I can go in and jump into a game with them, play with them. I'm not even talking to them.
Huh.
And this game does a great job of like you can communicate with the ping system, which I know a lot of games use before, but like the ping system where you just like held L2 with your gun, you zoom in, you hit R1, and it pings something, and it tells people, hey, there's ammo here, or hey, what's that over there? Or, like, and it just works so well. Um,
Huh.
I'm just completely blown away by what this fucking game is. So I played so much Helldivers 2 Gables that I have an LG TV, and when I turned my TV on, I got to the main menu. I had an ad to watch Starship Troopers for free on LG TV. so, so
They
you're
know.
goddamn right, Gables. I went and I watched LG. I watched fucking Starship Troopers on LG TV. It was fantastic. I love that movie. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie again.
God.
Yeah, I it just like in this game, it's just, like obviously when you play games with your buddies, it's like the moments are what makes it. And it's more of that. Like I was telling you before the show, like I haven't gotten to like I'm not a huge multiplayer guy. Or like I'll play one, I'll get into like I get into Fortnite and stuff. But I play Fortnite by myself. I rarely play with anybody. I play
Right.
with Jake a couple times, but like I like that game's just fine. I put on a podcast. I just usually just grind. Like I'm having a good time. It's mostly I'm trying to unlock these skins for like Peter Griffin skin or like the snake skin or like there's some cool event like the Dragon Ball Z shit comes in. I'm like fuck yeah, I'm gonna go. Kami on my eyes, some fucking Indiana Jones somewhere. But like I haven't got into like since like Rocket League was the last time I really got hardcore into like a multiplayer game, and
Mhm.
that was our game for like years with our buddies.
Yes, it was.
That was I mean that was literally a decade ago, Gables, and
That was a decade ago.
I'm just having a good time. Like I said, jumping in. I'm not even like talking to people sometimes. Like it works so well. It definitely could be frustrating where like you get in, you get some fucking dumbasses because it does have friendly fire, and it's like I
Oh
got one
God, I hate
game I was
that.
playing. I played for like an hour and a half last night, and it was like definitely was like a couple randos jump my game, and this one dude kept like fucking killing people on team. I got so pissed off, I just kicked. I had to boot him from the game. I'm like, dude, fuck off. Like he just kept killing. Like it wasn't like on purpose. It was like he was just being dumb. Kept dropping like airstrikes right where we were at, or like, he'd actually shoot us. I'm like, fuck this.
Oh
Um,
God.
so like that can kind of kill the vibe sometimes. But it's like when I was playing with my
I don't.
buddies and stuff, like it was just like one game we were playing where like one of them you had to like
Yes.
launch a missile, and you had to do like this set of like things on a terminal to launch the missile. And we played one mission earlier, and my buddy Jake, he got the different Jake, he got to hit the button to launch the nuke. And the
Hmm.
next time we played it, one of the guys on the group was like, "All right, who wants to press the button?" I'm like, "I want to press the button. I want to do it this time. It's my turn." And Jake tried to be a dick and press the button before I did, so I shot him in the fucking head, and I pressed the button. And so then he was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "It was my turn. I want to press the button. I called dibs." So and then at the end, like 15 minutes later, we get to the end. So at the end of every mission, you gotta run to the extraction zone, and then like you just gotta like you call for the extraction. You gotta wait two
Yeah.
minutes. You gotta like fight off a swarm of enemies to get out, and like the ship will land, and the ship will land on you, or actually in some cases, and this happened to me actually just today. Like the flames are shooting out as it's landing, and the flames will set you on fire and kill you. But so the fuck with me right before the extraction, he tried to shoot me and kill me. Instead, he wasn't paying attention. The ship landed on him. He got killed. I took all his shit and then I hopped on the fucking ship and we left him. So it's just been like just stupid shit like that. It's just a game of moments. It's a great game. I'm having so much fun with it. Like playing with friends, playing by myself, having a great time. They got the servers up and running, which is really good. Like um, I said, people were saying, "Oh, I'm waiting 30 minutes." I never dealt with that. I mean, I was playing at night, usually after work, like 8 o'clock Central Time. A lot of times
Right.
I play a few games and go to bed, but like I don't know, like I mean, the worst kind was like I think like like last Friday and Saturday was probably the worst. Where like you're like I was waiting like maybe like not even 10 minutes, and then like the rest of the week I was probably waiting like 5 or 6 minutes. But like I don't know, like I would just like boot up the game and then like go walk my dog or something like that for let him out and or like go do a couple things. Like I'd walk away and then by the time I get in, I'm here, I'm on my ship. So like, is it okay? I'm not like saying it's get over it. It's definitely an issue, but I'm like it wasn't as big as like people were making out to be. But it seems like it's fixed now. Like today, I was playing a little bit. Like Saturday night, I was playing for a little bit before we did the show, and like when I hopped in initially, it took me like I had to wait like 30 seconds to get into a game. And then it was but Friday night I played for a little bit, like I said, and I hopped right in, no issues. They just announced a little right before we started the podcast, they upped the servers the cap more to 800,000. So I'm assuming all of
Oh.
it's probably fixed now. So I'm just hoping they didn't fix it too late where people are like frustrated and moved on. But I won't be surprised if maybe once like everything's smooth out and it's working well, maybe they have like a double XP weekend again. But man, this is one of the most like some of the most fun I'm having in gaming in years. Not saying it's the best game I played in years, but as far as like just pure fun, it's definitely up there. So this is a big time recommendation. And yeah, if you have a PC or PS5, yeah, it's $40. Just buy it. It's fucking awesome. I love this game, and I'm gonna continue to play it. I'm actually like part of me is like kind of bummed that in a weird way that like I'm excited for Rebirth, but man, I'm like fuck, I just want to keep playing Helldivers. I don't want to, it's like I never would have thought I had that feeling. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week, guys. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. If like I said, top of the show, if you want like False Prize, you want to support us anyway, just like us wherever everywhere YouTube, follow us on podcast services. We're everywhere. Spotify, Apple, stuff like that. Leave 5-star reviews, leave comments, share with your friends. Really go to our if you can go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and comment
Right.
and like and stuff like that. That really appreciate it. There are links in the description down below. Click on all those. Check us out in all those places: Facebook, Twitter, all that. So, but again, I was your host. I was Tyler.
I'm Colonel Gable. So until next time, everyone, have some fun, play some games, but most importantly, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of the Drunk Nerds podcast.
And hey, Gables,
Yeah,
for democracy.
for democracy.
Bye, guys.
See ya.